My name is Kahl. I'm the CEO of the Gallagher Group and Executive Director as well. So I've been in this position for 3.5 years, started the very week after my first ISL course. Before ISL, I had the privilege of leading the security business globally, and prior to that, many innovation and more technical roles. Yeah, the Gallagher Group's had a relationship for well over 10 years with ISL, and I heard all the stories about how everyone who had been there came back saying it was a life-changing experience and just had to have a go. My thoughts prior to going on ISL were, I suppose, an equal combination of excitement and a little bit of trepidation. But it was really great timing for me because I was just about to become the Deputy CEO and start my path towards CEO, so it was well timed. So moving up into the group CEO role, I knew it was going to be very, very important to be able to take a leadership position that was over top of many divisions, not the security division on its own that I'd spent most of my career coming through. So finding a way to get the mana and take the position and earn that. First attending ISL, I thought it was amazing in the first day and a half. You meet your syndicate, you meet these really powerful people, and then just how quickly you form a really strong trust bond in the first day and a half was really remarkable. I do really like how everyone's there to learn, provided you step into it with great vulnerability, you get a lot out of it. I think that vulnerability is what they get you to do in the first day, and to share with each other who you are, why you're there, and that forms trust, and it's quite remarkable. So whose idea was it for me to attend? All of our executives are given the opportunity, so it's something that all executives do. I personally had to opt in and feel that there was value, and for me it was a no-brainer. Well, you don't hear a lot because it's very secretive in the process, and I think that's a part of the secret sauce that's there. But what you do hear about is a lot about self-discovery. It's a lot about getting off the mouse wheel and taking the time to reflect and understand yourself. I was expecting to have an experience along those lines and just see what I could learn about myself. So all through my career, I'd gone through many roles from technical up into leadership roles, and increasingly strategic and increasingly global. It became more and more important the higher up that I got, the more I had to let go of all of those technical skills in the prior jobs. And it was a really good moment in between those two jobs, because I was essentially out of my prior job and hadn't started the new one, to just take that time to reset and to understand and to take that step forward. So why was it important for me to let go of those technical skills? Every time I've moved up in the organisation, and there's been 7 times I've moved into different roles, each time you want to leave that role better than what you'd started with it, but also leave enough room for the next people to be even better again. So stepping up, stepping away to give them the room to be more successful than you were in that role is really important. It also is a critical success factor in making sure that you're successful in your next role because you rely on them. My view of the fundamental critical success factors for leadership is the ability to build a team. Team dynamics are so critical, and this was one of the key success factors, I suppose, of the ISL, both the SLP that we did and also the team journey that we went on for a couple of years with a coach afterwards as a follow-on. A critical success factor in the team dynamics is really understanding yourself and having each member of the team understand each other in order to have the team gelling. So I think that was a really fundamental component. Yeah, when you genuinely understand yourself, and you definitely get that mirror in the ISL course, you understand how other people see you, you understand what your strengths are that you can perhaps more confidently move forward with, you can understand your blind spots and more actively look to manage those and mitigate the impacts on others. So how has the mirror allowed me to be a better leader? Being prepared to have the mirror held up and being ready to receive that and to have it as an ingredient to grow is really important. And that's a very vulnerable thing to do, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Once you understand how other people see you and they trust that when they show you a mirror, you're going to take it on well for growth and take it well, then they're more likely to show you that mirror more often. Personal growth is not something that happens just once when you go on a course. It's something that you need to adapt and evolve every day on. So having that skill for life is super important to ongoing lifetime learning. So another transformational element for me from the SLP, actually, one of the experiences you get is you really need to unplug for the week and really commit to the program. And part of that is really being off the grid. And at the end of it, one insight that I heard from everybody is how calm they felt. You're getting off the mouse wheel, and they're very reflective, and how much time you had and how much just powerful reflection time and forward planning time you actually had in that week when you just chose to stop and think. Another really important sustainability mindset is that we can all be more successful if we've got really balanced work life, home life and health. One realisation I've had over the years is actually when you unplug, when you do less, you actually achieve more through having more consistent energy, so that's very important. So the last couple of years have been very interesting with the increasing economic uncertainty. We were lucky that the pandemic hit just after we'd finished our team dynamics work as an executive team, and we'd formed those even stronger trust bonds, and we were really pulled together as a team. And then a crisis turned up almost perfectly timed to test us and galvanise as a team, because there's nothing like an amazing opportunity or a wicked crisis to galvanise as a team. So deeply understanding each other from a team dynamics perspective really set us up for success. Quite wonderful things actually happened in the next couple of years. Even though there were many terrifying times, we've actually ended up substantially more successful and taken huge market share as a result. Yeah, my leadership style has definitely changed and evolved, because coming from a technical background and then into a technical leadership background, it was all about your skills, your capabilities, how well you could architect, how well you could build a business model. In latter years, it's had to be more about how well you can gel a team, how you can show empathy, how well you can communicate, how you can cast vision. So a lot more focus on the culture and strategy and looking after people, and then providing everyone else for the training to do the technical things in those roles that we left behind. Key attributes of a successful leader definitely have to be empathy. And as we know, empathy is about understanding people, isn't it? We're taking a walk in their shoes and understanding what they need. So the ability to understand and genuinely hear what people need personally, and what their superpowers are, what they can bring, what their weaknesses are, and then form a team that fills out those weaknesses and maximises those strengths, but all the time balances what the business needs with what people need. I think that's a really important balance for sustainability of teams and people. If someone's unsure of their career path, what advice would I give them? The SLP or the LP is a great place to go away and think. I would recommend that you perhaps engage with a coach or a trusted mentor or two outside of your organisation in your trusted circle, and just start talking. Coaches have a wonderful way of delving into what you don't know you know yourself and bringing out those insights. I certainly had a lot of that experience on my SLP program with my coach. So I foresee my role in the organisation evolving with the organisation as we grow. We're growing very quickly. We've got 84 years of great culture. It's my role to help set the environment to make sure that we not only maintain that culture but allow that to grow as well. We have great plans to grow from around 400 million well past the 1 billion on to 2, being a global organisation, and that's only going to be achieved by creating leaders who create leaders who create leaders. So many depth and layers of leaders, all very empowered and autonomous and inspired to do far better than any of us did when we were in their roles. So leaders who create leaders who create leaders is it's a Simon Sinek thing that's shamelessly taken from his insights. Why that's important though, in a scaled organisation, that as a leader now, we primarily feel that the coaching is a core competency and capability, the ability to develop other people, and the only way to operate at scale is to create many leaders who can look after the many people that will come on, hundreds of people that will come on our team over the next few years. Leaders, rather than managers, help shape people, they help form strategy, and they help us all become more than we individually believed we could. So lifetime learning is a really interesting thing as people step through careers. So of course, as you're going through your career from different roles, like I have, from technical roles to technical leadership roles to other roles, there is an interesting combination I think that can happen with traditional learning in universities with the likes of MBA, who give you really good grounding skills and the capabilities of the things that you might need from a skill perspective, a strategy perspective, finance perspective, all those kind of domain things which are minimum to be a leader. But what the SLP brings is this really rich piece that you just don't get from traditional learning and traditional universities. You get this understanding of yourself and an impact you have on others, and really bringing that people and culture development element. I've never seen it before, and I've never seen it so powerfully impact people and actually inspire people in just 1 or 2 days halfway through the course to really want to be better, and then to see a sustainable change that sticks. I've just never seen it before. So for me, with the SLP, when did I start to lean into it? I started to lean into it in anticipation before I got there, because I was very keen to see what other capabilities and insights I could have into myself. But throughout the course, I thought I was really up for it, but it wasn't until a couple of days in where you really start to peel back the onion and be really vulnerable and start to share with the coach on the second session that you have. The coach comes into the fore there to help you genuinely understand the areas that you could really improve on, and an important part of that was the feedback that you do get from your peers and colleagues as well, and how that lands as motivation to improve. So in intending to attend ISL, the best advice we give everybody, and I give everybody that's about to go on it, is to step in with both feet, be vulnerable. The more open you are and the more you lean into it and the more you leave all of your fears and your trepidation at the door, the more you're going to get out of it. Because with openness and showing your weaknesses as well as showing your desires and hopes, then your team and your coach will give you good advice on how to step forward. And it will be life-changing, it will be transformational.